You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV Survivor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV Survivor After Show.
There's that sound.
I love that music. Hey guys, this is the Survivor AfterBuzz show. We are going to be talking all about Mad Treasure Hunt tonight's episode. I'm Justin Walter, your host, joined by the one, the only, the 3-time Survivor legend here tonight and off Redemption Island, Jerri Manthey.
No, I shouldn't have interrupted you. That was a good one.
I know. Well, welcome, Jerri.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This is 2 weeks in a row for me and you.
I know.
So Ryan Allen Carrillo.
Ryan's still on Redemption Island.
He's still on Redemption Island. We're going to start calling that Bite-Sized TV Redemption Island. He is actually, I think, at the American Idol episode tonight doing some work. So
is that show still on?
I guess it is, but it's not as good as Survivor.
Or The Voice. I watched The Voice.
The ratings on American Idol are declining, and Survivor a couple weeks ago, for the first time in history, beat American Idol, which is go Survivor. There's some Survivor news.
Because it wasn't on when I was on
Survivor.
Australia.
I mean, we could go there, Jerri. I have the Australia DVDs.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Aren't they fun to watch?
That was one of my favorite seasons.
I don't think I've been able to sit and rewatch the entire season again yet.
Wow.
Just because it was, yeah.
It's like watching classic Survivor. It's such a different game back then. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do a marathon of Survivor Australia. Is that creepy now that I work here with you?
What?
If I rewatch your seasons?
No.
Okay, good.
No, you can tell me all about it, though.
Okay, good.
Remind me of the stuff I did, because I don't remember.
Okay, good.
I blocked it all out.
We'll fast forward 26 seasons later after Jerri's Survivor Australia to tonight's. You know, last week we had such a phenomenal, fun, crazy episode. So
Chaos Cast.
it's hard to top that. It's hard to like go from such a high, and I was living that Survivor high for days after that episode. And then, you know, tonight was an okay episode, you know?
Yeah.
It was, you know, we've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad Spencer's still around.
Spencer's still around.
I love you, Spencer. I love you.
She's in love with you.
I
He is 21, but you're married, Jerri, so...
Not in that kind of
know.
love. I just really like him. I think he's a nice person, and I love that he's a huge Survivor fan.
Huge
I love
fan.
that he's making good moves, and he's excited to be there. I'm always happy when there's somebody on
He's
a
been a good
season.
player. He's been a good player, and, you know, we'll see how far he goes. But, you know, we start off Chaos Cast last week. Still, I mean, even when my dad emails, when we've been talking with my parents Survivor all the time, and my dad emailed me like, why, he's an attorney as well. He's like, why would she make that move, you know, going from an alliance where you're in it to being at the bottom of an alliance. And tonight there was all this like, we're all equal. That's all
give me a break.
bullshit.
I love Spencer was like pointing out that she was going to vote with her estrogen.
Yes.
And I'm like, see, you guys, I told you they were all on their period last week.
She said Cass voted with her estrogen instead of her brain. And we all know that those brains from the start haven't been the best brains working. And Spencer...
We're still waiting for the data on how they all got on that track.
Which, when you're on the red carpet, Jerri, find out what that data is. You know, Spencer obviously blows up. I mean, if I were Spencer, I'd blow up too. I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
At an illogical decision.
Totally ridiculous. I mean, Cass was at least third in an alliance of 3. Now she's 6th in an alliance of 6.
Which, it's so interesting that she felt like she wasn't in that alliance with you. So I don't know what was going on. And even tonight at Tribal Council, you know, we saw Tasha giving the love symbol to Sarah when she walked in as the jury member. Maybe Cass wasn't as in on that alliance as we thought she was. I don't know, but it just still seems a little silly. But
that's called working the jury, Justin.
I know, but I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
I love you. Thank you for going.
And then you look, you know, you see her doing that, you vote her butt out. But You know, I give Spencer, you know, I don't care. He got mad. Big deal. I mean, who wouldn't be mad?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be mad? And it wasn't even that bad. There have been worse post-tribal council blow-ups in the past.
That's how Lindsay quit.
That's how Lindsay quit.
Yeah.
He wasn't that out of line that we saw on the show. So, you know, he apologized a couple times throughout the episode. One to Cass in their face when he tried to mend it. And then he apologized, or, you know, when they were searching for the idol, he apologized to Cass. At Tribal, he apologized. He's apologizing for what didn't seem like a huge blow-up.
Right.
So,
but it's
good
smart
gameplay.
on his part.
Good gameplay.
Very smart to suck up your ego and to try to smooth some rough edges.
Yep.
It's always a good move.
One thing Cass said, because it was all about Cass in the beginning of the episode, and she said, you know, I pissed off 5 people, but I made 5 friends.
Yeah, which is bullshit. You don't make friends that easy on Survivor. It takes years after the show's over to actually find out whether you're friends or not.
Right. Friends in the context of Survivor.
Yeah, no. I don't believe any of this talk where they're all like, oh, we treat her like she's one of us. Well, just the fact that they say one of us shows you that there's a separation.
She's not.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, I'm just going to say, though, even though I bet out of those 6, she's not going to be the first to go out of that 6.
Well, I mean, of course, next week we saw the trailer.
We did see that trailer, but that doesn't mean...
That woo.
Well, it's not going to be woo, but whatever. Again, and then, you know, we get the Cass versus Morgan drama, if you want to even call it that.
I love that Tony said you can't tell whether she's a human or a pillow.
and then she called Cass an old dog, right?
I mean, there was a lot of name calling going on
Or
tonight.
one of them got called an old dog.
But I will say this, I can honestly speak for probably every man across America that they are crying big tears because they can't watch
boobs.
Morgan slowly run across the
slow upper body boob action that she did provide for the beauties.
She's got a slamming body.
She's very pretty.
Very proportionate. She's very beautiful.
Yeah.
But lazy doesn't work on Survivor. It never works.
Which is interesting because lazy does work when you want to keep around bad players because they're not a threat.
Yeah, but at a certain point...
people get annoyed.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people don't understand that it's constant work to keep the fire going, to get the water bottles filled, to find firewood, to find food. Like, it's constant work. And when there's somebody just sitting on their butt, I don't care how much... Yeah, if we took them to the end, they'd be great. Nobody wants a lazy person.
A freeloader.
Because it makes you feel a lot of resentment, and it's just like this pool of negativity in the way all the time.
Yeah. And
Being lazy is a bad choice on Survivor.
Especially when, you, like you said, there's so many more elements of keeping the campfire going and all these sort of things that you get annoyed. I mean, even... Like, put it in the context of having roommates in college. When I lived in a dorm, I got annoyed when someone didn't do the dishes. Yeah. And it's just like, even though it's so small, it would piss me off to the point where it just makes you then frustrated and mad, and then just kind of like, it's like on Survivor.
You know what I did in college when I had roommates that wouldn't do the dishes? I invited a bunch of horrible, trashy party animals over to our dorm room, drank until we had a pyramid of beer cans, let them smoke in the living area, God. And then knocked all the beer cans all over and said, see you guys later, I'm going to Thanksgiving break. And then someone was like, you can't go without cleaning that up. I said, now you know how I feel when I go in the kitchen and there's dirty dishes. But see, you can't do that on Survivor.
No, you can't invite over the party and make a mess.
There is no party.
You are the party.
You can't do that on Survivor. You have to get your butt up and go find some firewood. At least pretend like you're helping. Don't lay around doing nothing. It's never going to work in your favor. It's
just, it's frustrating. It's annoying, and then it turns into the age battle. You know, Morgan, she's a bitter old woman, and I'm prettier.
I believe I had something similar with Parvati.
Wait a minute. Yeah, this sounds a little familiar, Jerry.
I wonder. Yes,
Heroes and villains?
The bitter old cougar.
You are a bitter old cougar. No, you're not.
I'm not even Puma material.
Oh!
Cougars are a lot older than me. Like, give me a break, Parvati. You know, she never apologized for saying that.
Well, she wasn't wrong in saying that. Just kidding.
I'm going to kick your ass.
You know I love you, Jerry. And I just want to point out that Jerry and I don't talk about what we wear coming because we don't, after we leave the studio, I don't talk to her. You know, she's my AfterBuzz Survivor friend.
It's all an act.
It's all an act. And we're wearing AfterBuzz colors tonight. She's got this beautiful yellow top on.
Why, thank you.
And I've got some black and white going on, so we are very AfterBuzz friendly tonight. We're buzzing, but like bees. We look like a bee. But one, obviously, AfterBuzz is Maria Menounos' and Kevin Undergaro's whole thing, and Chasing Maria on Oxygen. I watched it last night. We just want to talk about it quickly. I loved last night's episode because it showed the roots where Maria came from in Boston, and the basement that she and Kevin like started off dreaming about their dreams, and like they lived in a halfway house. Things that you wouldn't even know. Like they, once she started dating Kevin because he wasn't Greek, her dad kind of turned on her, and then she and Kevin lived in a halfway house in a basement, and it just shows like you can dream. This is sounding corny, but it struck me because coming here and seeing them, you can dream big and you can accomplish your dreams with hard work and persistence, that sort of thing. Obviously, blah, blah, blah. I know, but it was a great episode, so we want to run the Chasing Maria promo.
Tuesdays on Oxygen.
I'm Maria Menounos, and my life can get a little crazy. I host Extra. I'm an actor, producer, dancer, wrestler, and a lot of other things. I live with Kevin, my boyfriend of 15 years. Do you really love me?
I would say that I'm in serious like.
And my parents. Yep, I just said I live with my parents.
You drive me crazy.
You drive me crazy. My parents want us to get married.
You both love each other. Get married.
Kevin and I don't. I am going to get married when I want to get married. I think I want kids. Kevin definitely doesn't want them now.
This is being pushed on to us.
And of course, my parents wanted them yesterday.
This year, you gotta have it.
And I have a house full of people counting on me financially. If I take my eye off the ball, everything can fall apart.
It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or wants us to do. It's what we want to do.
Everyone thinks that they know what's best for me, but I'm really the only one. I have got to figure things out.
Chasing Maria Menounos is so new. Every Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, starting March 18, only on Oxygen.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's on my list of
it's
shows
on your
that I
DVR,
want.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to just sit down and watch it.
It's the thing I like about it too is so many shows that I watch nowadays are an hour or 2 hours long. It's only a half-hour show, so it goes like that. It's like a fun, quick watch, and you will see AfterBuzz stuff all over it. They always wear AfterBuzz clothes. Maria had like an AfterBuzz skirt on this week. Kevin's wearing a coat. AfterBuzz.
Wait, where's my AfterBuzz skirt? I want one.
Yes, we need to get Jerri an AfterBuzz skirt, and she will wear it next week.
Please.
Almost like her, we should get you an AfterBuzz tube top like on Survivor.
My days of wearing tube tops for bras are almost over.
They're almost over until you're on Survivor again.
You never know. It's such an insane show.
I know. So let's get back to Survivor. We can get to the reward challenge. The reward challenge, they split them up into two teams, random draw, and the teams ended up being all the original beauty members left together, and Spencer on one team, and then Tony, Wu, Trish, Cass, and Tasha on the other team. So it looked like, the old beauty tribe to me clearly would like walk away with the challenge. It was actually a little closer for the middle part.
Well, I just kept saying the entire challenge. I was like, oh my gosh, this is Spencer's chance to get those people that he's playing this challenge with together, when they won, and get to talk about stuff and maybe get his infiltrate a little bit more, maybe reunite the beauties.
Which is interesting to me because this was the opportunity where it could have been an opportunity to reunite the beauties, but it seems like there is no reuniting the beauties. And the interesting one to me is not Morgan, because LJ hated Morgan from the beginning, but Jeremiah. I felt like there was an LJ, Jeremiah, Jeffra, some sort of friendship connection sort of thing.
I think there's a lot of beauty business we never got to see.
It's like out the window.
Yeah,
there's no
not even an option.
There's not even an option of maybe one of the strategies would have been Jeremiah and Morgan going up to LJ and Jeffra and saying, "You're with 3 Braun. Why don't you reunite with 2 beauty and still have the numbers by using some of the brains? 4 beauty, 2 brains is better than the situation you're in." We didn't see that if any of that happened, but
maybe those people are just not gamers.
Jeremiah and
Jeffra and Morgan.
Morgan, yeah.
Maybe they're just not the kind of people who think,
out of the box.
4 steps ahead, possibilities,
And it just seems like that beauty divide it's
strange.
Too much.
Well, it's just, I don't feel like there was any backstory, so I feel a little bit left out of what's going on between them, because the whole time during the challenge, you heard me, I kept going, this is Spencer's
the whole
chance.
Time. So the challenge, they had to
They had to run up a net, like flips into like a little teeter-totter thing.
Walk on a balance beam, which we were like, woo, use your shoes this time.
Yeah, he didn't have his damn shoes on this time.
I think he did, but
they didn't work.
Woo fell behind, getting his team behind. Then they had to climb up a big wall that was angled. There was rope if they wanted to use it. Then after they did that, they had to clip in a treasure, or the treasure chest had to be pulled up the wall. And then they had to do a puzzle, which was stacking circular pieces with different pegs poking out of it. LJ rocked it with Spencer. Spencer was helping him. They rocked it, whereas Cass and Tony, right? Was it Tony? No, Woo. It was Cass and Woo.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it. They were, flustered and they weren't doing well. So the Beauty Tribe and Spencer won, and the entire time, which I would like to point out that this episode, Jerri was the one talking the entire episode, not me. I always get blamed for talking the entire episode.
You do. You still talk.
I did, but you were a lead. I wrote some Jerri quotes out tonight.
Yeah.
Jerri was all over it tonight.
Write that down.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he was eating a salad.
When they won, and I had her check it. It wasn't sour dressing this week. When they won the challenge, Jerri was like, "Yes!" She screamed and was going crazy. I was like, "Jerri is me tonight."
I did catch
But you were
myself.
so excited. This is Spencer's opportunity to make a move.
Yeah, because I just feel so bad for what Cass did to Spencer, and I just want to see him go really far because he's like the underdog. He's like the nerdy kid who watched Survivor and now is on it. Like he's the epitome of the super fan that got on the show instead of the so-called super fan on fans versus favorites that always end up there that were like, I never even watched Survivor.
Yeah, I loved this is a side trip, but I loved in the first fans versus favorites when they did a Survivor trivia challenge and the super fans couldn't freaking answer any of them. It was like, you're not freaking super fans.
Justin's like, I should be.
I was like, Spencer is living my dream.
He totally is.
He is, and I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him, and he's doing well. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I want him to keep going far. So, they get the reward, which we're going to get a little personal insight from Jerri about the Outback Steakhouse reward. She's got some inside tips for us. The reward was being taken away to an Outback Steakhouse restaurant and to try their new bacon margarita.
No, the grilled pineapple margarita, which has bacon on it.
Which sounds delicious to me.
Yeah.
I would drink it right now. And the Outback Steak. So, Jerri, give us a little insight into Outback Steak rewards from your experience.
Okay, on Heroes and Villains, we had the Outback Steak reward challenge, and the clue was the same. It was in the same place. It was in a napkin, and Parvati and Danielle, I think together, they found it.
Yeah.
And I remember them taking off, at some point.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking about it, honestly, because I had too many of their cocktails at that time, which were peach. It was like,
every time it's the whatever cocktail they're trying to pimp out.
It's like a kookaburra something or other, and it's delicious. I don't know, it's like peach and champagne or something. I had a lot of them. And so I didn't even notice, and then we all got really sick. Like each one of us we got the face. We were like, oh.
From eating too much.
Yeah, and then one by one, everybody would go run off.
Oh my God.
On the beach. There were, those big crab holes. Perfect toilets.
Oh my God.
But I remember after the whole season was over, seeing some of the crew people that were serving us the food.
Yeah.
And they were just total Americans that were faking Australian accents. And they thought it was so much fun because we totally all believed them.
You all thought they were Aussies?
Totally.
Oh
and at one point I was
gosh.
like, were you working when I was doing the Australian Survivor? Like his accent was that good.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just the funniest thing.
Oh my gosh.
To find out.
How was the steak when you guys ate it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
looks delicious on TV.
It was a sirloin. I'm not a big sirloin person. And I like my
Jerri
steak.
is a chef and a foodie, so she's critical on these reward challenges.
Yeah. And even when I was that hungry, I got to say, the salad was amazing.
That's what they said. Morgan said it was the best salad of her life.
I love Outback salads. Totally.
I don't like iceberg lettuce.
It's an odd situation because it's for some reason it's especially crisp and crunchy and refreshing.
Going to the Outback.
Yeah, but the sirloin, I think they shipped it from an actual restaurant to where we were at.
Got it.
It was
a reward.
It was all right. We got shrimp. We got shrimp too.
Got it. Shrimp on the bobby.
And a loaded baked potato.
Nice.
All of these things do not sit well on an emaciated system.
Spencer made the comment, which I totally agree, is your body has two stomachs, one for food and one for dessert, and they were pounding down the dessert. It's so true.
Yeah. I've never heard that put that way, but it's so true.
It's so true. Every time I eat like a huge meal, I always eat dessert.
Always.
Oh,
how can you not? Especially this creme brulee.
There's always room for dessert. Get some creme brulee in here for Jerri. Yeah. So at the reward challenge, Spencer was saying, like, my stomach's, I have 2 of them, I'm eating whatever. He picked up his napkin and noticed a piece of paper fell out.
Well, I thought it was funny that first he said, I'm so hungry. I don't even have manners. I wasn't even going to use my napkin, but then I figured maybe I should at the end of the meal or whatever.
And thankfully he did, because then he found the clue, which nobody else was looking for a clue. He wasn't even really looking for the clue, and he stumbled upon it. So note, Survivor fans, if you're ever on a reward food challenge, get there and go through the napkins right away.
Woo knew.
Woo knew. Woo knew. We'll get to ninja skills. Woo, ninja stealth. Woo. So he found the clue, immediately hit it, and then when he got back to camp, he went away. It was pouring, so everybody was stuck in I was gonna say cabin.
The shelter.
The shelter.
Yeah, the cabin.
The cabin.
Good God. Did you forget what show we're talking about?
The cabin. And so they were all stuck in the...
They were all snuggled up in their sleeping bags.
I mean, it looks comfortable to me.
And their flannel pajamas on.
Not gonna lie. They were all stuck in their cabin. And, Spencer took off right away. And then we find out that Woo has ninja stealth skills. And before we watched this episode, there was the description. One survivor uses their ninja skills. Like, really? Like,
it wasn't that
when
ninja.
That's in the description, you know the episode's not going to be that fantastic. Like,
why?
Last week's episode was probably like, power struggles and big moves and idle plays. And this one is one survivor uses their ninja skills. Like, really?
I love the camera angle they used when they were interviewing Woo.
Yeah, well, it was like a GoPro in his face.
It was, like a fisheye lens. Yeah. And it, stretched his face out, and he kept, sticking his face, right up in there. It's like, my ninja skills.
Woo, this is one of the... Woo seems like a great guy. Very, athletic and good in the challenges. Good guy. Boring on the show for me. He's pretty boring.
Yeah, I was
He doesn't
hoping
offer much. He's kind of boring. We'll see if something happens. Next week, we saw a teaser if he wants to make a big move, maybe.
Yeah, I was hoping he would kind of come out of his shell.
Yeah, he's pretty
boring. I kept
boring.
saying he's a sleeper.
He's still sleeping.
Yeah, he's still asleep.
But he's doing well in the survival aspect of it. But what he did do tonight that I liked was he was like, I'm a super fan. I know that when you go to a reward challenge,
especially the Outback
Steakhouse challenge or reward, there is a hidden clue. So he knew that when Spencer took off, Spencer had the clue, and he followed Spencer and brilliantly waited for Spencer to leave his belongings behind. Spencer,
took off his pants,
put the clue in between the pant legs. He has a bathing suit on and socks and shoes. Spencer, put the clue in your pants. Put the clue in your shoes. Don't leave the clue in the middle of nowhere, even if nobody's around.
Right.
So then Spencer saw Woo. Okay, you see Woo. First thing you do, get the clue. No. Spencer saw Woo, and then he went over to Woo and was like, oh, yeah, how's your walk? I'm just taking a walk too, dude. Yeah. Oh, let me go walk by your stuff while you walk the other way. Oh, here's your pants. Oh, yeah, here they are. I got the clue. I'm running. Good job, Woo.
Do you remember in Heroes and Villains when Colby went on a reward challenge with Danielle?
Can you no. Can you remember in the Heroes and Villains, you should phrase it like this, when Colby lost his balls? That is what I remember. Colby season 2 was amazing. Colby was a hero, one of the best Survivor dudes ever. Colby All-Stars, Colby Heroes and Villains, where is your manhood? I picked you to win that season because I thought, Colby, no one's going to see him as a threat anymore, but he could strategically play this game. He could have done well, but he had no no gameplay in him.
He wasn't playing the game. Is the
I remember
problem.
on the reward challenge. I can vividly remember when he had the clue and gave it
No. That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about.
I'm talking about
with Amanda and Danielle.
No.
Okay, what are you talking about?
When Colby, Amanda, and Danielle went to, I think
the popcorn challenge,
the Hemingway house or something like that.
Yes.
And Danielle found it in the popcorn because Colby wasn't even looking.
Yeah.
And Amanda was paranoid and looking like crazy. And Danielle, took it and put it underneath the mattress. Yeah. And she said, I'm going to look at it later. And Amanda happened to see her arm go like this. So Amanda comes around the other side of the bed and tries to grab it, and a total cat fight ensues.
And then Colby said, give it back to Danielle.
Well, yeah.
No, that was so terrible.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because the way Amanda did it, it was basically like grabbing it out of her hand, which, there's
Is
no
that a
real
Survivor, like, no?
Well, there's no real rules against it. And, if you leave it on the ground with your pants, you're just setting yourself up for someone to take it. But in this instance, Danielle did find it. And I mean, they were literally like fighting. They did not show the full fight on TV.
Yeah, and in my mind, that was when the Heroes Alliance needed the idol, and Colby you got to back up Amanda. That's my opinion.
No, Danielle.
No.
Oh, he needs to.
He needed to back up Amanda on that, and he didn't.
Well,
Colby
that's
lost
Colby
his
in
steam.
Heroes and Villains.
I know. He became a dud.
You got to be ruthless.
Poor Colby. I mean, Survivor Australia Colby he was amazing. Every season he went down as a Survivor player, but he hosts Top Shot, and he's on like season 10 hosting that show. Have you ever watched him on that? No.
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
He tries to be like Jeff a little.
I know, it's hard to watch.
Okay. Moving back to this show.
Yeah, but anyway, it's happened before where somebody's gotten a clue and it's been a fight.
And so Wu,
awkward.
He took off. He's really fast. Spencer couldn't catch. He gets back to camp, shows his alliance immediately. Spencer gets back, says, everybody has to go look for this. Everybody then goes to the area where the idol is hidden. And I think to show how, crazy it was, someone said, I think it was Tony, or they said, when Morgan gets up and actually shows up to look for an idol, then it's like it's something big is going on.
But what do you think would have been? I mean, because I kept thinking, God, it'd be really awesome if Wu. Mm-hmm. What if Wu teamed up with Spencer to find the dang thing and didn't tell anybody?
But why would that help Wu?
Well, if anybody finds an idol, and nobody else knows about it except one other person. I don't know. It just seemed like him running back to tell everybody was a little reactionary. Maybe there was some way he could have worked that situation.
Or he could have looked simultaneously as Spencer was looking and not let it be a complete manhunt.
And Spencer could have just continued looking instead of chasing Wu. Mm-hmm. But he ended up finding it anyway.
Yeah, and that's
right in front of Cass.
Yeah, which is so funny. I mean, here's the thing with idols now. It's literally one clue gets you the idol, which is crazy. Like, it used to be 3 clues build up to finding the idol, but they love the idols. That's why they just want people to have the idols. And so they're all looking on the wall, and it's clearly you're not going to dig below the ground. You're going to dig above, so it's in that wall. Mm-hmm. Everybody should just be digging in that wall. Spencer found it, but Cass was watching. They told Cass, watch Spencer. And as Cass is like picking around, not doing much, and Spencer, smart, used an emotional appeal to her. She plays with estrogen over brain. Use an emotional appeal, not a logical appeal, and he apologized right then and there as he was staring at the idol, saying, I'm really sorry about what happened. Very smart move. Throw in that emotional appeal and then get her off her guard and then get the idol, and he put it in his pants.
Yeah.
And got it.
Why wasn't she being aggressive looking for it?
Cass.
Like, why? I don't understand why so many people are just kind of like.
You know what? Maybe they were there a couple hours already, and like they were there a long time looking for it. So I don't know. But Cass, I mean, we can talk about her we will talk about her. But speaking of idols, last week we talked about, and a couple of times we've talked about the Tyler Perry idol and, the Cook Islands and the Terrys. So the Yule and Terry season. So actually, Ian Kevin on Facebook sent me a message. He is Survivor Wiki on Twitter, and he does like Survivor, like Wikipedia type knowledge, I guess. And he wrote me this whole thing about how Yule had the idol. And here he said he managed to lure Jonathan back to his side because if Penner didn't flip, Yule would have used it on anyone in his alliance. So basically, once I'm reading this, I remember that Yule had it, and it's so powerful. If you have it at 9, you can just basically like show it to anybody and say, I have this idol. If you vote me off, I'm still going to be here, and I'm going to send you home. So you can't use it. You can use it all the way up into the final 4. So it's almost like a
free pass.
A free pass to the final 4, unless you're willing to sacrifice someone, in your own alliance. Like if you
then wouldn't it make sense for people just to vote you so you do use it and get rid of it?
But then you're gonna vote someone. One of the majority people you're voting against is gonna go home. So that's the tricky part about it.
Man.
So
I don't know how I feel about this.
And then he reminded me that Yule. He didn't have to use it because when it came down to the final 4, it was his final 4 alliance, So that, and then he says, after the Cook Islands, the producers thought the Tyler Perry format was too powerful since Yule found it. He was basically immune all season. And the last time he can use it was during the final 4 tribal council, and that's when he already had his alliance there, whatever. Hence the change up from Fiji. So thank you for sending me that message on Facebook.
Yeah.
It did, like, once I read
I
it,
don't remember that at all.
I mean, I remember parts of it. Like, once I'm reading, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember it being so powerful, like that sort of thing. But I don't necessarily, I don't know.
Because I know I watched the season with Penner.
Oh, yeah.
I love Penner.
That was Poverty's first original season. That was
it?
Candace's first original season. That was the Cook Islands when they did the Asian tribe, the Hispanic tribe, the white tribe, and the African American tribe.
How far did Poverty make it on that one?
She was final 5 or final 6, right around there.
Okay.
So thank you for sending that about the idol. I know we've talked about it a couple times, and
I don't know how I feel about it, honestly.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. Honestly, this season, I think it'll be used more crazily. Like, I don't think it'll be used as like a big power play tool.
How can it not be powerful?
I know.
Though?
No, it is powerful.
It's a free
But what
pass.
I'm saying is I'm saying it's not going to be used as methodical as Yule used it. I think these people are a little more crazy in terms of using the idol. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So one thing we get a lot of this episode, Jerry, let's get your thoughts on this, is Cass is, all I'm a free agent, to the people that she flopped over with. She had a conversation earlier in the episode of, I made my vote and I'm kind of a free agent. And then they're all, you're with us. And then to Spencer, he comes up to her saying she's the only one we could flip, so we got to talk to her. And she said, I'll consider flipping. I'm a free agent. It's again this like
it's like Sarah all over
but
again.
She didn't flaunt it like Sarah did.
Well, she kind of did. I mean, if you tell Tony, who's in charge of that alliance, that basically, I voted with you last time, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do this time, you're doing the same thing Sarah did.
I think what that Alliance of 5 has done 10 times better with Cass is make her actually feel included and feel a part of the alliance. Like, even when you see when they're
deceivingly so.
Yeah, it's smart. Even when you see them talking to her in the group setting, they always say, Cass, who do you want out? Cass, who do you think? Whereas in the other alliance, it was Sarah and everybody else saying, this is who I want, or we're not going with this plan at all. So it is making Cass feel a lot more inclusive. It's making her feel more like in a power position. So I think they have done a good job with handling Cass.
Well, Cass is playing it smart in that she's just like, tell me who you want me to vote for. Which is what Sarah should have done instead of going, I'm not voting for that person. I'm going to vote for this person or nobody else.
Yeah, if Cass this week would have said to them, her new alliance, we need to vote off Jeremiah. And then if she would have gone over to the other tribe and said, we need to vote off Trish or whatever it is, like what Sarah did, she was in the middle telling each alliance who to vote off. She didn't do that. She did exactly what we said as a swing vote.
She's playing
Tell
it smart,
me who to vote.
But still, just you don't have to say the words to anybody that I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
And she gave us the famous Sandra 2-time winner quote of, hey, I don't care who we vote off as long as it's not me. We got to get Sandra to come on.
Oh, I know, we do.
You and Sandra are tight. Let's make it happen.
I know. I miss Sandra.
Love Sandra.
Love her. I think we need to reintroduce what we did that one season. Get some of the old people back.
Yeah, we got to bring some
back.
Get
them up here.
Let's get some in, especially with we're voting Ryan off for good probably soon. So we'll just get some people Skyping in. So, Cass kind of in the middle or pretending to be in the middle again. And do you think she should have flipped back?
I mean, it would have been a lot more interesting.
We were hoping.
See, I
just
think
for
that's
TV
why
purposes.
Next week they're trying to promo Woo possibly getting voted out because I really, at this point, it's like, you know, shooting people in a row.
It is, but it is like that's what they were saying to Cass. Is like you're the 6th in that alliance.
It's still so stupid. I can't believe she can't see that.
She might be able to work in some, you know, eventually they're going to need to split up LJ and Jeffra, or LJ and Jeffra are going to look at it and say, hey, maybe we need Cass, you know.
Or maybe LJ and Jeffra can flip.
Who knows? I think there's gonna be some more flipping coming up.
I hope so.
There will be. I think this episode's hard because it was such a great episode last week and such a big gameplay and craziness, and it's hard to come. I feel like we're on a little like the episode was a little down because it was very simple, you know, downer.
Except for the full-on chase through the woods.
Yeah, the chase through the woods.
Hidden immunity.
And thank you, Morgan, for some good tribal council moments. You know,
I didn't quite understand what quotes Jeff was trying to point out
I
that
got
were so
it.
brilliant.
So at tribal council, Morgan, they were accusing her of being lazy and just not doing anything at camp and just she's worthless.
And then Jeff said, are you used to being treated that way at home? She's like, of course.
Yeah, of course. I'm used to being pretty. They're totally playing up the beauty card. And she said, any person in the world can decide to be ugly or cute. Most decide to be cute. Something along those lines. And Jeff said that's one of the
best quotes ever on
of
Survivor.
tribal council, or craziest or dumbest. Or
No. He said that was one of the best. Yeah. Because, see, I didn't understand what she said. I thought she said that people choose to be cute or ugly.
Yeah.
But they don't. You don't choose it. You're born either way.
You can get some help along the way in how you present yourself.
You
But
could be cute on
Survivor,
you could be cute on the inside by choice. You know, but you don't choose what you look like. She was truly blessed, this girl, let me just say, as a woman.
She's got those curves.
Wow.
Pretty girl.
I got to say, every time she was on camera, I was just like, wow, she's got a slamming body.
Boom.
Just curvy.
Yeah,
and,
she's
yeah,
pretty.
she's not a tiny skinny mini.
She should be on the beauty physical tribe, you know, physically beauty.
Yeah.
Internally, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what she's like inside.
We didn't really get to know her.
No.
Just besides that she gave a lot of this episode. If you're pretty, I'm pretty. Cass is ugly and old, and she's a hag. She's 40. 40 is not old, people.
No. Is she?
I don't know, but that's she said she threw it out there like 40
like,
was old, you know?
She looks older than
One thing before tribal council that we saw on the beach was coming up with plan A and plan B. You know, it was Tony, we got to have a plan A, and then if an idol comes up, we got to have a plan B.
If things get crazy.
If things get crazy like last week, we got to have the plan B. That is like Survivor now. You always have to go in with 3 different plans in case something
And they're going to start
crazy.
doing like, hand signals, like baseball games.
I love it. I think when Trish went up to vote, she probably went up, she's like, hey, plan A or B? Okay, A. It's like, yeah, they're going to have sideline coaches coming in the plays.
Is it A or B?
And tribal council, what else stood out to you? Anything?
No.
The only thing that...
A lot of talk about being pretty and ugly. And
I think the thing that Jeff brought up to Cass was, you made a big move last week, but you go into an alliance of 5. Are you at the bottom? And then you have Jeffra, who's adorable. Jeffra's even in the challenge. We didn't even talk about did we talk about the immunity challenge?
No.
Oh. We got to talk about the immunity challenge.
I love the immunity challenge.
Oh, yeah. So the immunity challenge was an endurance challenge where the castaways had to stand on a ledge and stand on their tiptoes, on their calves, basically exercising their calves, and hold.
They're not on their calves.
Sorry, yeah, they don't stand on their calves.
impossible.
I'm sorry. Use their calves. Thank you, Jerry.
Sheer
Stand on their
calf strength.
tiptoes, using their calf muscles, and hold. They have a wood piece on their head that's touching the top of a structure, and that wooden piece cannot fall off their head.
Right.
So we've seen this where people have to hold up their arm, and if they move their arm, the water spills on them. But this is a play on it, which I like this play. This is a really hard physical challenge.
I don't know how anybody lasted more than like 20 minutes.
And, Cass fell off right away, and then a few people fell off. Jeremiah fell off rather quickly, and people got into over an hour and a half. The final 3 were LJ, Tasha, and Spencer, and then it came down to Tasha and Spencer. They were in there doing this for over an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. On your tippy toes.
Their legs must have been burning.
Can you imagine if you got a cramp?
Burning.
Oh,
burning.
Ouch.
That is a tough physical challenge.
Yeah, very.
And Spencer pulled out the win, beating Tasha just narrowly.
Tasha was stoned, man.
She is competitive. She's athletic. She's smart. She's social. She's great.
Yeah.
And Spencer deserved that win. He brought it.
Yeah, he did.
It was a great challenge, and I liked it.
I was very happy to see Spencer win. Very happy.
I was happy to see a good physical challenge like
Because
that.
I knew nobody was going after Tasha, although, you know, later on they did bring her name up in possible voting situation. Which
even if Spencer didn't win immunity, he probably wouldn't have been voted for because they feared he may have the idol. You know, so now it's the weak are the ones who are going to be at risk a lot of the season because everyone's assuming someone strong is going to play the idol. So get out the weak so you don't use the idol. You know, whatever. So yeah, great immunity challenge. Congrats, Spencer. Spencer, double idol winner tonight. This was his episode. He'd be my player of the week.
I just remembered in Tribal Council there was this really awkward, weird moment. Perhaps it was the editing. I'm not sure, but I feel like Tony and some of the other players might have had some little intel from Cass, the conversation that she had with Spencer. Like maybe there was some sharing of information going on because when Jeff was ready to read the votes, he said if anybody has the idol and they want to play it, now's the time to do so. Tony looked over at Spencer and was just waiting and waiting and waiting, like he was almost certain that he was going to play it. And then when he didn't, he was like, yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Because
I think they assume Spencer has it. Like if anybody's gonna have it, they assume Spencer has it, which, you know, good assumption. It's a normal idol. He did find a normal idol when he read the clue.
I know.
He said it, you know, he said this is a normal idol, so it'll be interesting when this other idol comes up. And
I just hope it's somebody that I like watching because they're going to be there.
Yeah,
the end.
they'll be there till the final four.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
God, a free card to the final four. Just think about that for a second, people. That just doesn't even like sit well with me, unless it was me, of course.
The Tyler Perry idol is only okay if Jerri finds it.
I just can't like fathom that kind of power.
So Morgan went home. Morgan got voted off. Cass stuck with the alliance. Smart move on Cass's part, in my opinion. If she would have flopped back this week, we would have been jumping up and down because that would have been a crazy fun move.
Would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome. However, if she would have flopped back this week, she would not only prove to the other side that they can't trust her again because she might just flop, you know, then the side she's with now, she would have nobody trusting her. You have to at least wait this week and give your trust to the same side.
I don't think she has anybody trusting her as it is.
Better having a little bit of trust than none.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think...
Anytime somebody flops, or flops, whatever, it ruins your chances for being trusted by anybody at any point in the game because people always remember that. They're like, do you remember how quickly she flipped?
Made the comment of, the reason I made the decision last Tribal Council was because I knew after time they'd forgive me and come back to me. That was a little cocky.
A little? And it's also a lot of assumptions being made on her part because you don't, you know...
Human nature. She's saying human nature.
If Spencer doesn't make it to the final three, he will never be able to forgive her for that because in that one move, his whole game was ruined.
The one thing that Spencer could have done, I think, to maybe get her to flip was to flip back was to say, Cass, where do you stand in that alliance of 6? You know, we're just kind of independent right now. Well, why don't we make a deal right now to go final 2 or in 3 together? Why don't you and I will make a deal with you. I give you my word. Let's put everything under the bridge. You want to be in the finals? Well, let's make a deal to be in the finals together. And to solidify that, I will confide in you. You see how she reacts. If she's buying and you feel like you can trust her, I have the idol.
You can't do that, though. You can't trust her.
Take the risk.
You can't.
Take the risk.
Yeah, you can't. He couldn't trust her.
It's all you gotta.
With good reason.
Yeah, no, I know. But forget the idol. Give her a deal. You want to go to the end, kind of. I don't know if I'd want to sit next to Cass in the end after if she makes all these big moves.
I don't know. One big move does not a game make.
No, definitely not. I mean, right now, Malnutrish, has all the big game moves.
Does she?
She's got the big ones in my book. The big Cliff blindside, Lindsay quitting, and then last week getting cast the switch.
I don't know if I would give
Lindsay
her
quitting
the credit of Lindsay quitting.
Yeah, no, it was the side effect. The side effect.
Somebody did send me a message and they said that they felt like I never fully expressed myself on how I feel about Lindsay quitting.
Whoa.
And I will say, very disappointed and very upset.
Yeah.
Because anytime somebody quits in general, I get really like, ugh.
Especially when it's a lame quit.
Because suddenly the game is not going their way.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. Like a spoiled little brat.
Not cool.
That's even worse because there's no injury. There's no.
It's terrible.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
Other than you're not getting your way.
Yeah.
But she had such a great opportunity to come into the situation and turn it around.
Find cracks.
LJ and Jeffra at that time were not solid with Tony.
Not at all.
Not even close.
They became solid after she quit.
Yeah.
So
they had no choice.
They had no choice.
When she left,
you got to stick with them.
Yeah, totally.
And she still had Wu. Wu and her could have picked up LJ and Jeffra as a 4 duo or whatever.
Yeah, Wu was still trying to figure out what the hell just happened,
and he had no choice, too. He's by default with Tony and Trish.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we'll get some more crazy tribals, some more crazy highs in the next couple episodes.
I hope so.
Real quick, though, Jerri, I noticed you have a lot of interesting jewelry on. Show that to the camera.
My jewelry business will.
You're starting a jewelry business.
Yes, and I have an online store that I'm building right now,
Great.
and I will be releasing it out on the internet soon. I'll let you guys know when. It's called Jewelry by Jerri.
Aww.
And I do fun pieces of jewelry from antique heirloom silverware from the late 1800s to the early 1900s.
Oh my gosh.
And every piece is totally unique. I do everything by hand. And every single piece is like unlike any of the other ones.
Because you take a piece of silverware and you mold it into whatever, a ring or a bracelet or a necklace.
Yeah, I bend everything by hand. I don't heat things.
How did you learn how to do this?
My aunt started the business
That's
9 years
cool.
ago, and it's actually brought my family together.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
this really great story.
Wow.
And I'm going to have some videos on my website
So
to show
cool.
people it's a really difficult thing to
Yeah.
do. You got to have all these tools and really like, get in there with your hands. It's so awesome.
So could someone eventually like mail you like, here's a knife, silverware from like, and then you mold it and then send it back to them?
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing with antique silverware is that if you start researching it and looking into it, there's unbelievable silverware out there.
Wow.
Beautiful stuff. And
Silverware. This is kind of we're like, this is a weird conversation.
No,
but yeah, this is cool.
Every single piece has its own history and its own story.
Okay,
if
so
you
real
think
quick,
of it that
the
way.
one on your what is that? What kind of silverware was that? I can't even tell.
These are 2 forks.
Oh, what?
Yeah. See? Yeah, and
Wow.
and this was a shrimp cocktail
All right,
fork.
so if you guys are listening on iTunes, if you're watching on YouTube, you see this. But
Yeah.
if you're listening on iTunes,
This is a
tweet
pie
Jerri.
server. A pie
Tweet
server.
Jerri. Everything she's wearing is jewelry. We'll post it on our ABTV Survivor thing.
Yeah, we'll link it all
once
up.
you get the website going, we'll tell everyone.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, I sell everything, and I can't make it as fast as I can sell
That's
it.
awesome.
It's gorgeous
Good.
stuff. I'm telling you, people, very high
All
quality
right.
and made by me.
Awesome. Well, there we have it. So listen to us on AfterBuzz iTunes. You can also download. There's an AfterBuzz app.
What? There's an app for that?
You didn't know there's an app, Jerri?
I didn't know there was an AfterBuzz
Well, you can
app.
listen to all your favorite shows like Survivor on the AfterBuzz TV app.
I'm gonna have to get that AfterBuzz app.
Download it now for free.
Free?
Free. No money.
I hope you guys
There we
recorded
go. 'Cause we just made that up on the spot. But there is an app which is pretty cool. Download it and always on YouTube. Jerri, where can people find you?
You can find me at Jerri Manthey on Twitter. I now have Jewelry by Jerri on Instagram. And Facebook, Jerri Manthey, or jerrimanthey.com is the best place to find everything, Jerri.
I love it. And you can find me at Justin F. Walter on Twitter or facebook.com/JustinWalterHost. There we go.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.